I have a degenerative disc in my neck, help me. That was an email that I got last week here at the clinic. This particular person had a lot of neck pain, a lot of arm pain, and was blaming it all on the degenerative disc. And today I want to talk about degeneration in the neck, degeneration in the spine, and talk about how it might be affecting things and whether or not it might actually be the cause of your pain. Now, it's really common if you've got some back pain or neck pain for your doctor or your other health professional to refer you for a scan. And a lot of the time, what comes up on the scan is that you've got this disc degeneration. And a lot of the time we see it in between C5-6, C6-7, and also at L4-5 and L5-S1. And why do we see it all at those levels all the time? Why is it so common? And what does it all mean? So that's what we're talking about today. Now, one thing to know about degenerative discs, okay, and this is something you may not have heard before, is that degeneration in discs seems to be a normal part of aging. Okay, so a normal part of aging. Just by virtue of the fact that we're sitting upright, we're standing, we're against gravity over our lifespan, okay, it's really common to have some degenerative changes in your neck or your back. How they work this out is that they got a few thousand, I think there were Swedish people into the MRI machine, not all at the same time, a few thousand people that don't have any pain. And what they did is they put them through the MRI scanner to see what was going on in their back, to see what a normal back and a normal neck looked like. And to their shock, what they found is that they all, a lot of them had all these issues with their spines, okay? Degenerative changes, nerve root compression. Some of them even had disc extrusions, like actually chunks of the disc had come off. So with degenerative change, what they found is that as you age, the prevalence of more degeneration can happen in your spine. But what they also found is that there's no relationship really between degenerative changes in your spine and whether it's causing all of the pain. So this really set us back a little bit because we're like, well, maybe the structure and the pain aren't related. So we need to think a little bit more deeply about how we rehabilitate the people with the pain and not just blame it on the poor old degeneration and say, there's nothing we can do about it. So when it comes to neck pain and back pain and there's degenerative changes on the scan, the degeneration doesn't necessarily mean it's the problem. What we're more focused on is what can you and can't you do and where is the pain, so we can tell what we can do to rehabilitate things. So when it comes to degenerative changes, it's normal with age, and what we need to work out more is the symptoms that you have, okay? What are the symptoms? Because there are a whole lot of other things that can refer pain into a neck, into an arm, into a back, and into a leg that aren't the degenerative disc. It can be muscles, it can be joints, it can be nerve sensitivity, it can just be a lack of movement that might be causing it, or it can be something more complex like a central sensitization process, which we can explain more if you do come into the clinic and you're affected by it. It's another topic all on its own without going into topic here. What we generally find with all types of spinal pain, whether it be neck pain, back pain, or even thoracic pain, is that just in general, getting things moving and getting it strong is the first thing that we do, the first line of defense in sorting out back and neck pain, even if you do have a degenerative disc. Often what happens is that the pain in the neck or the back can come on because it's not doing the normal movement that it once did. So restoring the movement and getting it strong has a really good impact on a lot of people's pain. So we start with that, and then what we do is we work our way through a bit of a checklist and go, okay, if that's not working, is it the muscles, is it the joints, is there perhaps a directional preference with the way that your body likes to move? So working through all of those things are far more important than just taking one photograph, one scan, one picture in time and putting all of our energy into looking at that one photo taken at one moment in time, because it's actually looking at the behavior over a long period, what makes things worse, what makes things better, and where the pain is. It's much more relevant than just looking at the degeneration on its own. If there's anyone suggesting surgery for the degenerative discs in the spine, my strong preference and my strong recommendation is to have surgery as the last resort. There are plenty of conservative things that can be done first before we need to go that line, okay? So getting that movement, getting that strength before we go hacking into, discs and hacking and chopping into, you know, muscles and putting cages in there. That's very, very big stuff and a big decision to make. We want to be conservative with as much as we can possibly do first. Throw the kitchen sink at it and make sure that there really is nothing that can be done to resolve the pain before we go down the surgery line, because frankly, the statistics around surgery when it comes to degenerative spines and fusions and all these sorts of things, it's not great, okay? And it's becoming more and more prevalent that maybe movement and strength is the first line of defense rather than just chopping into things and doing things that are more invasive. So if you do have that degeneration in your spine, you do have the neck pain, you do have the back pain, really important to get an assessment conservatively first, okay? Look at what else we can do. Certainly in this clinic, we've got a lot of tool sets. We've got our dry needling, we've got our muscular and physical hands-on things that we can do. We've got the multi-cervical unit, or as we call it, the neck machine, that can strengthen the neck almost better than anything else that you can see. You can see plenty of videos about that on our YouTube and Facebook page. But if you do have that pain, you've got that degeneration, please, surgery is the last resort. Get it looked at by a physio. Movement and strength works a lot of the time just to get that right. And so if you do have that pain, degeneration, make sure you get that opinion before you take the ultimate step before surgery, because a lot of things can do it can do a lot of harm with surgery and a lot of benefit without it before we go down that line. I hope that's been really useful today. If you do have degeneration in your spine, particularly around that C5 to C7, L4-5, L5-S1, and you're not getting anywhere with it, please contact us, reach out, comment below in the comments, ask a question, because hey, we want to keep people off the operating table. We want to get people with their lives back and get their movement, their function, their strength, and live a life without pain. That's what I've been doing here for the last 10 years, 15 years in my career. I'm passionate about this stuff, and my staff are as well. Hope that's been useful, and we'll see you again soon for another Facebook and YouTube live video. Cheers and bye for now.